First, Guerlain gave us the original Mon Guerlain, which was a sensational hit and possibly a modern classic, but oh no, they weren't done. The people needed more, and so guess what? We got it, and here we have it. This is Mon Guerlain the Intense, and this is what we're going to talk about today in its own dedicated review. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. These and Marie here. Yes, we're talking about Guerlain's Mon Guerlain the Intense version. This is a fragrance I've had for over a year, so this dedicated review is well overdue. As always, when it comes to dedicated fragrance reviews, I rate fragrances by 4 categories. The first category is mood, and that is simply, when do I see myself wearing this fragrance? What time of year? Where do I see myself wearing it? How does it make me feel? We talk about it there. Second category is strength, and that's on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being this ain't nothing but water and a pretty bottle, to 10 being this is nuclear powerhouse juice. Then the third category, which is everybody's favorite category, longevity, that is how many hours long lasting is this fragrance. And then the fourth and final category is simply, is this a compliment getting fragrance? Yes or no? Because hey, who's mad at a good compliment? I know I'm not. So now you know how I do things, and yeah, let's get into the normal spiel. Lipstick of the day today, everyone. This is from MAC, and this is Riri Woo, which was limited edition back in the day, way before Fenty even existed. But alas, this is just a rendition of course, the favorite Ruby Woo. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, the full face, as well as even y'all, yes, nail color, because y'all even asked me about that. That will be in the description box below as well. And since this is a dedicated fragrance review, of course, the fragrance of the day is the fragrance we're talking about. That is Guerlain's Mon Guerlain the Intense. And as y'all can see, this is a Big Daddy bottle, which is normally not my type of thing, but there's a reason for that, and we'll get into it. So, all right, let's get into the specs of this fragrance. So, Mon Guerlain the Intense version was released in 2019. So it has officially been around for 5 years, and by current standards, this fragrance is not new at all. So we've had this one for a minute, but I also want to put into context that the original version of Mon Guerlain came out in 2017. So we essentially had to wait 2 years for a flanker to come out. So not too long of a wait. That's more traditional. You normally wait to see how well the first version will do before you come out with a flanker. So that's okay. We didn't have to wait too long for the flanker. So the main thing that's supposed to be different about this new Intense version compared to the original one, which by the way, I've already done the dedicated review on the original Mon Guerlain. So definitely check that out on the channel if you haven't already. So this one is supposed to be a more woodier, more ambrier version. That is per Guerlain's official website in their words. So basically a little bit more deeper is what I'm getting from this, which the name is Intense. So something else I want to add about this fragrance is a little backstory. I originally went to New York City back in, what was that, October of 2022. We had just got engaged, so that was the reason we were there. And I remember going to the Guerlain counter, and I remember asking for this fragrance, and the sales rep was like, we can't keep it in. As soon as we get it in, it's always sold out. And that happened more than once. I went to another Guerlain counter in another city, and they were out of it too. They was like, yeah, it's very hard for us to keep the Intense version in stock. So I'm like, oh, it must really be that girl. If you all recall that in the same year in November, I was in the middle of flying through the Atlanta airport, and I had to pass by the duty-free shop, and they had this fragrance in there. They only had like 1 or 2 left, so I grabbed it. My plane was boarding at the time, and yeah, the rest is history because it came home with me. So that is the beautiful thing about this scent. It does have a story for that reason. Almost missed my flight over this scent, but it was worth it. Let's talk about the notes of Mon Guerlain Intense. So we have top notes of lavender, mandarin orange, and bergamot, and then we have middle notes of Tahitian vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, iris, rose, jasmine, sambac. Then we have base notes of cumin, patchouli, licorice, benzoin, Australian sandalwood, and white musk. I will, of course, refresh my nose with the scent and tell you what I actually get, not just the laundry list of notes, because where's the fun in that? I'm gonna actually spray this on a test strip, let it dry down a little bit while I go through some more specs, and then we'll come back to it. So now let's talk about pricing and sizing. So interesting enough, this one currently only has 1 size, which I find very odd. And by currently, it is May 2024 when I'm filming this video, just for context. It only comes in the 100 ml size that I have in front of you right here. This is the box and everything, how it comes. And it retails for $170. Now I will say there used to be like a 1 ounce size, a smaller size. It did used to have more variety, but now that does not exist. If you go on Guerlain's official website, only this size exists. So that's what I mean by that. Yes, you may see other sizes on some discounters and what have you, but officially they no longer are made. So I just want to put that out there. Oh, and for context of sizing, My original Mon Guerlain version, the EDP version right here, this is a 50 ml size. And of course, this is what the intense version in the 100 ml size look like. So there is indeed a difference. Same bottle style, but there is a difference, of course, in amount. So now let's revisit what this scent actually smells like, what I get. For me, I get a deeper scent. This is thicker. This is thicker vanilla for sure, thicker vanilla. And the licorice in here does come out, and the licorice really comes out on skin. Let me say that too. Ooh, the sandalwood dries down eventually over time. It creates this creamy vibe. The lavender is definitely in here as well. And this one is sweet too. It's very sweet. It's richer, it's thicker. Definitely the vanilla in here for sure makes it sweet. The licorice is something else too. And it's also more of like a powderiness to a cloud, in my opinion, with this scent. That's what I've gotten from not just the paper strip, but when I actually wear the scent. Again, I've had it for over a year, so well versed with this fragrance. So that is what I actually get on the nose. So again, licorice, I get the sandalwood, I get vanilla for sure, lavender. And then the powderiness, I gotta admit there is iris in here, so I know that's where that's coming from. So that's what I get from this scent. So now, everybody's favorite part of the video, let's get into the rating system. Mood of this fragrance. What is the mood of Mon Guerlain the Intense, y'all? Hands down, this is a fall and winter scent, meaning cold weather. That is what that means. Hands down, it's a cold weather scent. Cold days, cozy, it's sweet. Oh man, it's sweet. Again, if vanilla lovers, if you enjoy vanilla, this is for you. And this is a feminine lavender vanilla type of scent is what it is. So this, I gotta admit, normally I'm not like the biggest vanilla craze person. Y'all know that I don't fall into the whole vanilla craze, but how the vanilla is done in here, and if you know anything about Guerlain, nobody does their type of vanilla how they do it. They truly have a signature style of vanilla, and it's so prominent in this scent, and that is what I fell in love with for sure. So, whew. This is a cold weather version for sure. Now let's talk about the strength of this fragrance. And this is actually shocking to me. But you would think, okay, with intense, name, all that, okay, ooh, this gonna be beast mode, all of that. It's actually not. So, strength of this fragrance is a 6 to me. Average, but slightly above average. I mean, that's just where it is. Because even though this is a more richer version, yes, the vanilla in here is thicker and all that, there's a powderiness about this scent. Remember I was talking about how it smells, that it's not heavy though. It's interesting. Yes, like I said, it's a cold weather scent. It's cozier and all that, vanilla, richness, sandalwood, licorice, all that. That's beautiful and wonderful, but this scent is not thick. It's still kind of more airy to me, in my opinion. It's like a lavender vanilla cloud around you. So it's a 6. That's just the best way to put this. Now let's talk about longevity of this fragrance. How many hours do we get out of it? I tend to get about 5 to 6 hours, which again, I was thinking I would get more than that. Am I mad necessarily? No, but for me, this is one that I do find myself having to touch up. So it's not a spray it and go about my day and think I'm going to continue to smell it. It's not that type of situation. In my opinion, you do have to retouch it because again, it's not as heavy as you would think it would be. Even though looking at the juice is darker and all that, it's not. Last category, is this a compliment getting fragrance? And I gotta tell you, if you know anything about how the original Mon Guerlain makes the people get going and get excited, it's true. They kept the same DNA in this here intense version, and I gotta admit, this is still a compliment magnet. This is just the winter version of that, in my opinion. It's, people love it. You just smell very rich. It's very elegant. Even though this is not in their upper echelon line, their art materials line, which is the more elevated lines, you know, the $400 fragrances basically. This is in the more affordable line, the more designer-esque line, shall I say, with Guerlain. You would think that this fragrance costs more than what it does, in my opinion. You would think, because the quality to me is still equal to its elevated line. And people, in my opinion, can pick up on that because they're like, you just smell so good. It's not a scent you smell every day. Even though it's not, again, in the elevated line, and you can generally find this in a Macy's or anywhere, so you don't have to go to Saks in order to necessarily experience this scent. You can still get it. It's readily available, but it's such an elevated scent, and that is what I have enjoyed about this scent. And that's what a lot of people enjoy about this scent, because you will mention it to people. Like, I've had this conversation, like, oh yeah, like I've seen the gift set, like on counter in a Dillard's or something. So it's interesting how it's one of those scents that's just so elevated, and to me, it just further proves the point that everything doesn't have to be $400 in order for you to smell different and unique. You just don't. All in all, Guerlain did their thing with this one, and this is a certified crowd pleaser and one that I, the wearer, enjoy more than anything. And I have to say too, this one is head elf approved. He loves this scent. Whenever I wear this fragrance, he's going to comment on it. In fact, I had laid out my fragrances that I was going to wear for the week, and then he gravitated toward this one, and he was like, oh, I really like this one. Because one thing about him, he'll tell me if you don't like something. I can swear it's the best thing ever, and he'd be like, I mean, that's good for you. You know, I ain't gonna kill it, say not wear it, but it ain't my favorite around me. That's the way he does it. I do appreciate that. But all in all, certified compliment magnet out and about amongst people, and head elf approved too. So to answer your question there. And while we are here, I know somebody's gonna ask this. So, okay, if we already have the original Mon Guerlain, do we actually need this flanker? Do we need the intense version? And that is a fair question to ask. So to me, I'm actually gonna refresh my nose on the original while we are here. So in my experience, because I've had both of these now for a while, like going on, I had the original first, so years at this point. To me, the original is more brighter, it's more airier, it's more fresher to me. And in my opinion, the original Mon Guerlain is more so spring and summer to me. If y'all remember, I first smelled this at a wedding, so that's how much of an elegant scent it is. This is definitely spring, summer, and it was a summer wedding now that I think about it. I was at a summer wedding. If you've seen my dedicated review, you know the story. But yeah, the original one is more brighter, more sparkling, more upbeat, brighter, shall I say. Spring, summer, and then going back to the intense version. This one is thicker and denser. It's because of that vanilla in here, and the further you let it dry down, the more you wear it, even tonka bean starts to come out. Okay, this is getting even better the longer it dries down, but thicker, denser, and in my opinion, the intense is more cold weather friendly. So based on with that information, to me, they are worth having both because I personally do not wear them at the same time. They are not interchangeable for me. Again, original Mon Guerlain is spring and summer, meaning so right now it is May, graduation season. This is the one I'm gonna pull for right now. But hello, once we get to September, October, November, and beyond right there, then we get into intense territory for me. So in my opinion, they are both worth having because they serve two different purposes. So that wraps up my dedicated review of this fragrance. Let me know what you think. This is one I have been wanting to review, and while we were at it, we went ahead and compared it too because we all love a good comparison video, don't we? So let me know what you think. Do you own Mon Guerlain the Intense? Do you have Mon Guerlain the Original? Do you have both of them? Do you feel you need both of them? Do you feel you only need one? Let me know in the comments below because else I know y'all are opinionated and you're gonna tell me anyway. But as always, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye y'all.